Hey there, welcome to Flatbread Friday. And today is also St. Patrick's Day. So I was planning to make a corned beef and cabbage pizza for St. Patrick's Day, but then I remembered when I bought the chorizo for the pizza that we made last Friday, I saw some Irish bangers in the meat case at the fresh market. So I bought some of those. And today we're gonna make bangers and mashed pizza, and that's gonna be so much fun. Let's go. Some potatoes. On Sundays when I was a kid, we used to have, every Sunday after church, we would have pancakes and bangers. There was a place in Boston called the Smokehouse that used to make really great Irish bangers. But the way we used to cook them, to crisp them up, was to cut them almost all the way through and open them up. Give the inside a nice flat surface, and that's how we're going to cook these. I have a skillet over just a little higher than medium heat. We're going to give it a little spray, and we're going to cook our bangers. Place them open side down. Hope I can fit all these. Think I can. Did it. Crisp these up. And down a little bit as we go. I like that crispy open side. Our potatoes are done. As you can see, they are nice and inserted. Goes in and out with no resistance at all. So now we're going to drain them and flip our bangers over. See what I mean about that nice crispy crust? They're gonna be off good. One of the first restaurants I worked in, it was my job to make the mashed potatoes. And what I found out is that if you use a ricer, it makes them nice and fine, and they come out creamy and delicious. Those are in. We're gonna start cranking our handle, and as we do that, we're gonna push them in until they're all riced up. Potatoes are riced and back in our saucepan, and I didn't neglect it to mention, but you may have seen it in the video that I put a couple of tablespoons of butter in the warm pan so it could help to melt. We're going to season it up with a little salt and pepper. And a little bit of half and half. And then with these like this, all you got to do is just stir them around. You don't have to mash them with a fork or mash them with a masher. Just, they're already creamy and ready to go. Look at the creamy texture of these potatoes. So good. And those are going to be part of our toppings. Now we're going to make our sauce slash base slash gravy for our pizza. We want all these little sausagey brown bits coming up. Oh, by the way, the bangers from the market, the fresh market, they're amazing. Very similar to the ones we used to have every Sunday after church. So when this gets a little warmer, we're going to put a splash of beet broth in this to kind of deglaze this. I think we're warm enough now to deglaze this guy. Yep. This is going to help lift all this brown bit flavoring off the bottom of this pan and incorporate it into our pizza sauce slash gravy. And let this boil down for a while. This one we're going to add a little butter into our pan. There was some fat, but not a whole lot. And when you make gravy, in order to make a roux, you got to have some more fat. So we're going to wait for that to melt down. Okay, all melted up, and now in goes some onion. Lower the heat a little bit and let those soften up. Season them with a little bit of salt and pepper. We're using beef stock, so we don't need a whole lot of salt. And I thought we'd throw in some dried thyme. I said it's going to be fresh thyme pretty soon, so but right now we're using dried. And we're going to let those cook for a while. It is now time for a little sprinkle of flour. always make a mess with flour. Incorporate that well into our onions. May need just a little bit more, but we'll see. We're going to cook this down a little bit, get that starchiness out. Aiming to make the sauce a more pizza sauce consistency than a gravy consistency. So that's why this roux is just a little bit thicker. And we are good to go. And because it's Irish and St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to pour in a little bit of Guinness. And I'm going to drink the rest when I eat my pizza. It'll be good. We're going to let that cook down for a couple of minutes. Now it's time for some beef broth. Adjust this consistency as we go along. We have reached a boil and we're at a really nice saucy consistency. As you can see, it's not too thick, not too thin. And now we gotta cool this down because we don't want to put hot sauce. But while it's cooling down, we're gonna roll out our pizza dough. We are now ready to build. We've got our bangers, our mashed potatoes, our sauce. Oh, and this is some Irish cheddar that I'm going to mix together with a little mozzarella to make it a little more melty. First thing that's going on our crust is our gravy slash sauce. Nice and cooled down. Let's start with about this much and see where that gets us. Our sauce is on. Maybe moving the pan will be easier than moving the camera, and it is. Next comes our cheese, and like I said, this is a mixture of shredded mozzarella and shredded Irish cheddar. The cheese is on, spread around pretty well. Next comes our bangers. You can see I've cut them into bite-sized pieces. So we're gonna just distribute those all over, and whatever's left, we're gonna make a little more of that gravy and eat it. And our bangers are on, and what I've done, like I did the last time we made a mashed potato pizza, was put the potatoes in a pastry bag, or you could just use 2 spoons or a plastic bag. Oh, Kelly talking. My goal was to put a dollop of potato on top or next to each banger, and that worked out okay. And now we're ready to go into a 450-degree oven for about 25 minutes. See how they are when they come out. Our bangers and mashed pizza is out of the oven. Browned, bubbly. The potatoes are crispy on the outside. Here's what we look like up close. Looking fine. Now we're gonna slice it and serve it. Here's our bangers and mash pizza. Savory, gravy-ish. The crust is nice. The potatoes are creamy and smooth and a little browned and crisp on top. And because it's St. Patrick's Day, we need a little green, and I had some scallions, so boom. A little color, a little greenness, a little onioniness, and there we are. It's going to be a great way to celebrate. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Joining me for another edition of Flatbread Friday and a nice, yummy taste on St. Patrick's Day dinner. And there you have it, our bangers and mash pizza. And it came out so good, and it was very fun to play. And we'll see you soon. A pint or half a pint to St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day and happy Flatbread Friday.